Knock knock. This time the noise jerks my attention away from my book. An experience not unlike being woken up. Who's there?
Me, aren't you glad?
The voice is muffled through the door, but unmistakably Emmy's. Please don't tell me there's more. I took a long break, okay? I took a long break. I don't need more, okay? I hop up and open the door, smiling broadly. Hey, nice to see you again. Emmy grins back, staring up at me from her wheelchair.
Yeah, you would have seen me earlier, but the damned elevator wasn't working. Had to wait for them to fix it. You'd think they'd keep a— Oh my gosh, my phone is ringing. 1 second. Hello. Okay. Good to know. Thanks, Mom. Okay. You think they keep it in better order, but no.
I chuckle a bit at her vexed expression and invite her in. Please don't tell me there's more. I hate censoring stuff, okay? I don't want this episode to be, like, age restricted too. She wills in easily, and with my help, she hops onto my bed.
There, much more comfortable than that stupid chair.
A sigh of content hangs in the air, and for a minute we both stare at one another. It's at that point that I notice the circles under Emmy's eyes. They're not that dark, but they definitely weren't there before. Before I can ask about them, Emmy fixes me with a mischievous stare.
So, I couldn't help but notice you weren't at lunch today. In fact, I don't think I saw you at all. What happened,
Fell asleep. I actually didn't wake up until lunch, and only then because Kenji woke me up.
What had you so tired,
Strenuous workout this morning. Slightly uncomfortable, too. Emmy coughs a half-laughing, half-embarrassed noise. Oh, the innuendo.
Remind me not to do that again.
No problem. It wasn't exactly great for me either, to be honest. We'll just avoid that from now on. Are you, still sore? Are you still butthurt? Is basically what he's asking. Are you still butthurt? Emmy stares at me in disbelief. What? It's a legitimate question. Are you still butthurt?
Of all the questions I never thought I'd be asked, that's one of them.
Well, I didn't ever expect to have to ask it, so we're even. Emmy laughs at this.
I guess so, huh? Well, since you asked, yes, I'm still a little sore. We're not doing that again.
No arguments from here. A yawn escapes her and I raise an eyebrow. Tired? Emmy nods sleepily.
Haven't slept well.
Not sleeping well? I could tell that she didn't mean to tell me this either, because she gives a little start like she's just been caught lying or hastens to add.
It's not a big deal, though.
What's the trouble? Emmy shrugs and refuses to elaborate. Stressed over exams? Another shrug, but after a pause, Emmy nods hesitantly.
Yeah, I guess. Actually, that's why I stopped by.
She begins to look more and more miserable. Not so you'd notice, of course, but her eyes are on her lap. She's fidgeting and her voice is quiet.
We need to stop hanging out so much.
Huh? Why? Emmy takes a deep breath like she's been practicing this.
Because you're too much fun to be around. And I can't concentrate when you're near me. With exams coming up soon, I just can't have that distraction.
I feel so hurt. No, I'm butthurt. Ugh.
Otherwise, my grades will be pretty lousy, I'm afraid.
I could help you study. She smiles at me, clearly unhappy with the situation.
I'd love if you could, but we wouldn't actually study, would we? I mean, even now, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but I kind of just want to, not converse.
Ah. Overwhelmed by my rugged manliness, I understand. That earns me a grin, at least. Amy shakes her head.
Idiot, you're full of yourself.
Well, I am pretty irresistible.
More or less, I guess. So that's the situation, Hisao. I have too much fun around you, and if I'm going to go into exam prepared, I need to be alone.
Hey, it's okay. Or that's okay. I don't remember what I said. I blinked when he said that. It's probably that. Probably. It really seems to have bothered her. Besides, it's only a couple of weeks, and we'll still see each other in the mornings and at lunch. We could just hang out at school, no problem. And after exams, we'll go on a date to celebrate their being over, okay? Emmy grins, pleased by this proposal.
Yeah, sure, that sounds great.
As if to signal the end of the conversation, she leans in and kisses me. The rest of the night is not spent worrying about exams. It's weird how easily Emmy and I can keep from seeing one another after class now. Actually, I'd venture to say that it's vaguely disturbing. As easily as we'd come together, we seem to have split apart without much trouble. Well, I guess that's not exactly true. We've both been pretty bummed after that last night together. And we get to see each other every morning for our runs, and just our runs, I might add. Lunch too. I especially enjoy lunchtime with her. We have plenty of time to talk about everything outside of school, whereas the morning runs, it doesn't sound right, have become increasingly businesslike. I think it's because Emmy wants to make up for our foolery in the storage shed. Oh, the memories. Ugh. But no matter how much we joke at lunch, I can't help feeling a little worried about her. She seemed distracted more often, and I've caught her fidgeting nervously more than once. Never figured her to be someone who cared that deeply about exams, but they certainly seem to be taking their toll, even though they haven't even started. This is just the run-up, the deep breath before the plunge. Tomorrow, the real trials begin. Take that! Or the real exams anyway. Aww, I wanted a Phoenix Wright reference. As for me, I actually don't feel that worried about exams at all. I'm not sure why. I mean, they're pretty important. My scores here will determine my odds of getting into a good university. Hell, if I'm too cavalier now. If I'm too cavalier? That's the word? Somebody tell me if I'm saying that right. It could spell doom for my academic career. But going into them, I feel confident that I'll come out the other side okay. Hisao thinks I've got the science examination locked up, at any rate. Or as he says, the last thing that should give you trouble is my exam, Hisao. It's way beneath your talents. Then again, it is Matao who's telling me this. His praise of me carries the veiled implication that anything less than perfect from me would be a disappointment, which has actually caused me to fret more than I should about the exam. It's for that reason that I find myself in the library after class, poring over the textbook. Pretty simple things to look over, some formulas of velocity, a few bits about friction. A walk in the park compared to my dreaded English exam. Never was good with languages. As I flip through my notes one more time, my mind begins to wander. After the exams are over, things should get easier. Soon we'll be graduated. Then off to college, hopefully. I remember my abortive attempt to find out what Emmy plans to do after high school. She avoided the subject pretty deftly, as I recall. Heck, it seems that just about every time I push too hard, she dances around the subject. Or distracts me through other means, quote unquote. Like a few days ago at lunch when Rin wasn't around. I've done it! I don't remember what voice I did for her, so sorry. I'm startled from my reverie by Yuko's triumphant shout. Gah! Loud noise. Yuko seems mortified at my sudden starting. Oh my god! I'm so sorry. I just got and I really wasn't. It's just that As she stutters, I move to quickly calm her down before she gets too agitated. Whoa, 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 hey, hey, hey. Calm down. Calm down. My words seem ineffective. I'm thinking of Pokemon. It's like, it's not very effective. Yuko continues to work herself into a complete frenzy.
And it's a library and I shouldn't be.
Easy there, just calm down. Calm yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself.
And really, I'm setting a bad example. And now I'll get fired because I can't do anything right. Yoga!
It's like shouting Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't change forms. Shouting seems to work, though I draw the ire of several other students studying in the library. Yuko stops attention like a soldier who's just heard the captain bark an order.
Sorry.
Calm down, it's okay. You just startled me a little, and that's only because I was daydreaming instead of studying. So really, you got me back on task. This is a complete lie, but it seems to work. See, kids, lying does help. Don't lie. I'm telling you right now, don't. Yuko takes a deep breath and seems to calm down a little, though she keeps shifting around with a nervous energy that seems awfully familiar. So, what's got you so excited anyway?
Well, I found out who the Yamaku burglar is.
To her credit, Yuko manages to convey her tense excitement in a whisper.
I think I know who it is. I'm Sherlock Holmes. Oh yeah. I got an anonymous tip on to their identity. So I did some spying, and I think the tipster was right.
Oh, really? And who was this burglar? Yuko shuts her mouth, shaking her head decisively.
Nope, I can't tell you that.
Why not?
It's between you and me. It's between me and the burglar. I can't risk you warning him that I'm on his game. He could tip his head early and blow town. Then I'm left with no perp.
When did Yuka start talking like a hard-boiled detective? I think of Detective Gumshoe. She's suddenly Detective Gumshoe. She kind of reminds me of him, too. Bumbling, gets emotional easily. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Detective Gumshoe. I wouldn't warn them. Why would I care?
If you're got to ask that question, then you don't need to know.
It doesn't make any sense, but okay. Congratulations, I guess.
Thanks. What for?
The, cat burglar thing. Yuko nods and smiles appreciatively.
So, studying for exams? I'm Grover.
I just realized what to me it sounds like Grover, but to you guys it probably sounds like complete shite. Well, that was my plan. I'm not having much luck though.
Really? Is it because you can't find a book? I'm really sorry. I've been meaning to clean the shelves up for weeks now, but I keep getting distracted. I'm so sorry.
Whoa, wait. It's not that. I've got my book right here. To illustrate the point and hopefully calm Yuko down, I show her the textbook in front of me. My mind just keeps wandering is all.
It's because of the noise in here? I'm trying to be more strict about the noise levels, but I can't bring myself to yell at people. I mean, aren't their lives hard enough without me throwing my authority at them?
No, it's not the noise level either, I promise. I'm just... Hell, I don't know! Worried about Emmy? Worried about us? Worried about what happens after we graduate? Emmy's been kind of weird lately.
What do you mean?
Well, you know how we're dating, right? Dating now? I just don't know that we're actually, a couple. Or at least I don't know that we're beyond friends. Though friends normally don't do the sort of things we do. Yeah, kinda, Physically, we're a couple. Coupling, at least. It's like every time I try to find out more about her, or about what she wants to do with her life, she dodges the question. Like the other day, I was talking to her at lunch about some schools I've been looking into, and I asked her, have you looked into any schools lately? She shrugs in response, saying no, and when I ask why not, she says that she doesn't think that far ahead. I asked why she had that policy, and I suddenly realized what I'm about to start describing, and why wisely decided to clam up.
She what?
She changed the subject. I wouldn't talk about it.
Maybe it's an uncomfortable subject for her. Or she just doesn't think it needs explaining.
Yeah, but it's not just that. Every time I try to find out what's been bothering her, she changes the subject too. It's like she likes being with me, but not getting close to me. Now that I've said that out loud, I feel worse. Yuko digests a bit of information.
You know, it seems to me that you're more serious about this than she is.
I can almost feel my stomach twist into a knot. She's right. That's exactly what it seems like. But is that really what's going on? I mean...
Sorry, I'm just talking nonsense.
She reminds me of a character. I don't remember who, but I think it was from another video game.
You shouldn't take my advice, you barely know me. I'm just a librarian, and I'm single, so you can imagine I can't know what I'm talking about.
No, I think you have a point. As much as it hurts to even consider it. Yuko seems to try desperately to find a way to soften the blow somewhat.
Look, I'm probably wrong, but if you want to be sure of how obviously wrong I am, maybe you should just talk to her. Get some time alone and just ask about it. And don't let her change the subject either.
Yeah, maybe I should do that. Or maybe I should just enjoy what I have. We have fun hanging out, after all. And the runs are nice, and the other activities are nice, and talking to her is nice. Do I really need to get closer to her? What I've got right now is pretty good. But that's silly. I want to get closer to her. I want to be able to help her out with whatever is bothering her. But maybe I should wait until after exams are over. Maybe she'll brighten up once the stress has passed. If she does, then I don't need to worry about it anymore. But if she doesn't, well, I'll cross the bridge when I come to it. I thank Yuko for her advice and head back to my room. Maybe I'll be able to concentrate more on my studies in there. I leave the room after finishing my final exam and breathe a sigh of relief. As I'd hoped, the exams weren't so bad. I managed to breeze through just about everything but the English final. Even that was acceptable. I wonder how Emmy did. Even more so, how she's doing. She looked terrible at lunch today. I mean, she was pretty happy to be out of her wheelchair, but she was so exhausted. Something's been wearing her down, and I'm starting to really doubt that it was just the exams. Should I confront her about this, though? My musing is interrupted by a tap on the shoulder.
Hey, Sao.
I don't think I have, I don't think I actually had a voice for him, though, but... you know what? Yeah, I suppose I could spare a few minutes. Yeah, I've got some time. Nowhere important to be or anything like that. Hisao raises an eyebrow as if questioning my statement, but then beckons me back into the classroom. I want to get some feedback from you, if I could. I know that this course wasn't quite up to your level. Don't worry about it. The science club activities more than made up for it. Did they? Well, in fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Do you think that was a worthwhile activity? Just for my own reference. Well, yeah, it was a great way to go further than we did in class. It was definitely worthwhile. Hisao seemed delighted by my response. That's great. Exactly the sort of thing I was hoping for. You know, Hisao, I'm glad you came here. It's always good to have a student who really gets into the subject you teach. In a way, it makes dealing with the rest of the students more tolerable. You're a bright kid too. You took to this stuff like a duck to water, or some other such simile. Thanks. You were a great help, especially with that college stuff. There's one more thing, Hisao. A bit of advice from one scientist to another. What's that? What does a scientist do? Observe the world around him. Exactly. Good. A simple question, but one that most people can't seem to answer. That's the essence of a scientist, Sao. We observe what's there and try to figure it out. But what if there's something you can't figure out? What's a scientist to do if he can't observe something? How, for example, can you talk about quirks then... quirks? Talk about quirks when nobody has even actually seen one, or black holes when observing them directly is impossible. Well, scientific equipment's pretty advanced. Tao irritably waves away my response. No, that's not it at all. Those are tools. I'm trying to give you a philosophy. Think. If you can't observe something directly, then how can you observe it? Guess? How? How would you guess the movement of a quark? What is your guess based on? Of course. Of course! I should have thought of it earlier. The things it affects. Mitao claps his hands together excitedly and whoops. Yes, exactly, good! Remember that, Hisao. If you can't examine something directly, it's because you're looking at it wrong. You have to look at it differently if you want to uncover the truth. And if it eludes you, then look at what it leaves behind. That is the essence of being a scientist. We never stop looking for the answer. Never take anything for granted. Observe, experiment, and observe some more. There's a lot of stuff out there that makes no sense, Hisao. Your job is to get it to make sense. If nothing else, I hope you're learning that here. I think I can remember that. Mitao smiles, satisfied. Good. Now go and enjoy your time off. You've earned it. I leave the room feeling a little confused. What brought that on? Although, am I going about this thing with Emmy the wrong way? If she won't tell me, then can I go about it some other way? The question keeps spinning in my head even after I made my way back to my room.